back with another episode on the Unfiltered Journey podcast. I am your host, Will. I want to say thank you to Philip for joining me in the last episode of Fatherhood. I would appreciate if each and every one of you can go to his social media platforms. Instagram is pbills3132914. Give him a follow, like his posts, go into his bio, check out his other platforms, TikTok, YouTube. The guy is not only funny, he has an inspiring story, and I can really appreciate him joining me for the last episode. In the same breath, I have to ask you to do the same for me. Go to my Instagram, the General 414. Give me a follow. Go into the link and definitely follow all my platforms, TikTok and YouTube. I will leave some information down in the bio here at the end of this episode. But definitely subscribe, like, and comment. Share it out to 5 to 10 friends. I truly appreciate all those that have subscribed already, that has left comments, that has left likes. Today, we're going to talk about friendship and loyalty. We have to understand that when we're going through challenging times, we're going to need friends who can help us get through it. And it's not always in a dramatic way that we have to understand what true friendship is and what loyalty looks like. But how can we be better friends and more loyal to those people who are giving it to us? And it's just a simple check-ins. It's listening to their problems. It's supporting without the judgment. And that's something that I feel like in today's culture, especially, is getting lost because everybody has an opinion on somebody's problem as opposed to just listening. Because sometimes when we speak about things, we just need to be heard and don't really need words back, right? Um, and it made me realize something that loyalty is not flashy, right? It's a small, steady action that truly matters, right? So today, when we look at friendship, what makes a real friendship, what loyalty really looks like, and how we can all become better friends and more loyal people, there are a few things that we could talk about that not only we need to identify for ourselves, but identify for our friends as well, and making sure that we follow that um, into our friendships, right? So um, we have to show loyalty in action. Um, Friendship is not just about grabbing drinks, going out to the club. It's not always a fun time. It's not, we're just going to go grab some coffee. Friendship is built on trust, it's built on companionship, it's built on emotional support. It's knowing that someone really sees you and you really see them. It's it's the scars and all, and they still look like the amazing person that they are to you, and it's vice versa, right? And that type of friendship does take time, and it takes challenges. When you add loyalty to that, that is the backbone of friendship. Loyalty is standing by someone, not just when it's convenient, right? Like when life be life, to have somebody that stands by you and says, "I got your back," means a lot. It's it's being reliable, it's keeping your promises, it's showing up when it's hard to show up. Because we all want somebody to show up for us, but can we look at ourselves and say, are we showing up for those people as well? Who we call our true friends, who shows us real loyalty. Think about a moment in life when a friend you can count on showed up no matter what. Think about the ones who showed up not just when it was fun and easy, right? Not when it was just, we're gonna hit the club, we're gonna grab a section, we're gonna pop some bottles. What about the friend that held the umbrella, right? When it rained? that wrapped their arms around you when it was cold outside, right? That like the fair weather friends and the ones that show up in those times. Think about those people for a second, right? Loyalty is what separates them. And loyalty is not blind to things. It's not about staying friends with someone who hurts you. True loyalty. We're talking about true loyalty knows the meaning of setting boundaries and walking away from friends who are toxic. That's why it's very important to understand how things get separated when it comes to these friendships. It's understanding that I can be friends with you, but at a distance. Or I cannot be friends with you because what you're doing brings harm to me. That's something that we have to understand. In that, we have to know that people will pretend for a while. It is up to us, just like it is up to them, to realize who's who's for you and who's not. Now, look, I can share some stories about friends that I have, but the ones that truly mean something to me, my two friends who I met shortly before high school, been friends with them for well over 20 years. And now, when I tell you we don't talk on a daily basis, life has happened. My best friend Michael, he went on, got married, God bless him. He has a beautiful family. He lives in another state. He is working his butt off. That's life, right? And I appreciate him because the friendship that we built from that time all the way through, a lot of it has been based on loyalty. A lot of it has been based on trust. The things that I'm going to talk about throughout this episode is things that has really built our friendship. And I have to appreciate him even more because he really showed me a lot of those things that we're going to talk about. And on the flip side of that, I've experienced betrayal in friendships where I thought people were my friend until situations didn't benefit them anymore. And now I have to hear and see not only were they talking bad about me, but they wasn't happy for me in certain instances. And that's where it became a lesson to me to value the people who are for me that truly matter. And I had to learn how to let go of the ones that don't. Um, it's not personal. Like when you have to go through those things, like you could even think about it in the aspect or the sense of um, sports teams. They go through that, right? Shaq and Kobe went through it for a while, right? Jordan and Pippen went through it for a while. So it doesn't, friendships can be affected on all levels of life, right? So, but what we're talking about is understanding how to value the friendships that survive the challenges, right? That the one thing that a good friendship truly has, the commonality in that is loyalty, right? So even then, on the flip side, those things are applied to all levels through life. It's not about being perfect, right? It's not about that. It's about being there. It's about being consistent. It's about, you gotta be there through the ups and the downs for that person and vice versa, right? So when we think about it, we always try to figure out why do people need like loyal friends. I feel like us as humans, we need that connection, right? And friendships give us emotional support. Friendships give us security. It helps reduce stress when you have a friend who you can vent to. And one of the main things that we've been talking about a lot lately in this day and age is mental health. And having a very supportive friend, a very true, loyal friend, actually can help reduce mental health issues. Loyalty amplifies that because it builds trust and it creates a sense of safety for people. And it helps us feel like we belong to a community, right? To something that's healthy. But it's not always easy, right? Life changes. You know, people move away. You can, miscommunicate something with somebody. It's the personal growth that can test friendships. And sometimes what happens is loyalty is tested in dramatic ways where when a friend is in crisis, when a when a friend's in crisis or values are conflicted, how we respond in those moments tell us a lot about ourselves and our relationships. And some of the things that I've learned along the way, what to look at is how do I actually become a loyal friend, and how do I identify who is loyal to me? And one of the things I look at is showing up consistently, right? There are days when I'm tired. There are days where I have no energy. There are days that you just don't have it, right? But showing up consistently for people, or them showing up consistently for you, even in the smallest of ways, right? A simple call, a text message, they all count, because at that moment in time that you're thinking about them or they're thinking about you just gives you that sense of relief that somebody actually took a moment out of their life, or you took a moment out of your life to go check up on somebody. That could be the bright spot in somebody's day. Um, do they listen to you actively, right? Having conversations sometimes don't always need to have a back and forth. And we as people, as humans, have to learn when to just listen, right? It's listening without the judgment. We listen and we don't judge, right? Like that is something that's very valuable, in a sense where when we have something that's sitting on our chest, something that's heavy, and we call up that friend or we text that friend, hey, you have a minute for me? Like I just need to, and they just sit there, they listen to you, they don't judge you, they don't give you this lecture, like they're there for you, you know? And are you that for them, right? Who celebrates your wins? Who supports your growth? Like, are they genuinely happy for you? Do they encourage your dreams? Do they help and support you in ways that benefit your relationships, your growth, and vice versa, right? Are you genuinely happy for this person? Are you supporting them throughout their journey? Are you giving them good advice when it's needed for there to be continued growth? Um, Keeping the confidence, right? When we look at that, we have to understand that trust through time is very fragile, and we have to protect that. The trust that we have for people has to be examined to a point, because where there's no trust, there's no relationship. If I can't trust you with something, then I don't have a relationship with you. Um, then we need to be honest. We have to be honest. And there is a level of understanding that when we're honest with people, it's not to hurt somebody's feelings, but in the moment of certain conversations or certain situations, we have to be honest. Truth can be tough, but it's necessary. Loyalty isn't always easy. It isn't, right? But when we're honest, it helps cultivate a healthy relationship in which you both can grow and understand that. And then we have to look at how to recognize unhealthy friendships. The ones that you have to understand that they put you in harmful situations. You have to have the understanding that loyalty doesn't mean sticking around all the time. If it's not good for you, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you have to remove yourself from that. And I would hope that people on the other side of that understand that when a situation or a friendship is not good for you, just because I'm loyal to you doesn't mean I have to stick around. Um, think about a friend today, right? I want everybody to think about a friend and think about what small act you can show them that could be the bright spot of their day, right? Like a simple 2-line text message, a 3-minute phone call, or even share a joke with them, right? If we can do something like that this week, I would implore you to do that and understand that um, that is very helpful. I know a lot of people will probably say, well, people don't do it for me. Why should I do it for them? Sometimes with life, and just like many of us, we're just going. And we're going so much that we forget to stop for a second. So sometimes it is our duty as the friend in the relationship to be like, hey, what's up? Just thinking about you. I hope you're having a great day. Give that quick phone call. Yo, what's up with you? What's going on? I haven't spoken to you in a minute. Just want to check in. Your voice good? You good? Family good? All right, cool. Go on about your day. It's those little things that we have to remember, because in the flip, on the reverse side of it, if somebody was to do that for us, how would that make us feel? Right? Again, I have friends I haven't talked to in weeks, but every now and again, shoot them a quick text message. They hit me up, yo, I'm good, I'm straight. All right, cool. How that may transcend throughout the conversation may turn into, yo, we haven't hung out in a while. Let's go grab some coffee and catch up and talk and have a conversation. But just try it out this week. Just think of that friend you haven't talked to in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whoever you feel like you want to reach out to. But when we think about true friendship, we think about what it's built on, right? It's built on trust, it's built on understanding, and loyalty, right? Loyalty is an action. It's being present. It's being reliable and supportive, even when it's not convenient, right? We have to understand that. So take a moment and reflect, right? Are you nurturing your friendships? Are you loyal to your friends? Are they loyal to you? Are they nurturing the friendships? And most importantly, how can you show up this week for a friend? Right? Reach out. An expression of gratitude a lot of times go miles, right? Or just make up with that one friend. You got to make amends sometimes. Sometimes things happen in relationships and friendships that we let our pride and ego get in the way, and sometimes it's just make the amends, because that problem could be a small problem, and we have to understand that small actions make a big difference, right? um, I do want to thank everybody for uh, listening to me today. I know this is a pretty short episode, but this was a topic that I felt like we really kind of need to get back into. Again, when I look at certain things, we all are aware of what goes on in the world today. And for me, I felt like friendships and loyalty really has gotten very watered down, has become very convenient in a lot of ways. But you got to remember, you know, a friend laughs at your jokes when it's not even funny, and they are sympathizing with your problems when they're not even that bad. So I would greatly appreciate, please share your stories down in the comments. Shoot me a DM on any platform. I definitely will respond. I would love to hear about how your friendship shaped your life. And, next week we are talking about something pretty interesting, but also very lighthearted in a way. Listen, thank you again for tuning in to the Unfiltered Journey podcast. I am your host, Will. Please follow all platforms on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and everything of that nature. Be a good friend today. Be a good friend tomorrow. Learn how to be a good friend forever. Until then, be loyal and cherish the ones that are there for you. Peace.